All right, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back. Some Star Rupture. All right, if you're kind of new to the game, but your game's just still in playtest, so if you're able to play it, great. You know, you can have some fun with it, check everything out. It's a pretty cool game. I kind of like it. But anyways, if you're having problems on trying to figure out how to build your factory, and you know, there's so many components that, you know, hey, you gotta have more of one thing, or you gotta have one of things, or multiple things, you know. So I'll show you here. Let's see, let's go to build mode, grab that, and we'll go back in our drone here. Okay, so what you got here is a pretty complex little way to set up and run a factory. Now I'm doing everything at this station here. I did upgrade it a few times, so we got plenty of cooling power. So anyways, it gives you kind of idea. You know, we start out with, you know, drawing about, you know, the raw resources. So I'm actually using 2 titanium extractors, and then each one of those are being fed into the smelter. And then for the smelter, you got this little setup here. Oops, wrong key. So you have this little setup here where the titanium's being outputted, and it's on these 2 separate rails here, and they're kind of linked. Okay, so if it needs more product that way, this one here will drop it and go that way. If this one here, we'll bring it over this direction. So then you have this final running in here to all of these other rails. Now I have three lines of rails, which you could probably do this with 2 or even 1. But you need basically what you need is you need at least 2 rails. Okay. 2 rails, one going in one direction and one going in the opposite direction. Okay. And I'm using 3. So the simple fact that I can transport more goods at one particular time. Then at every junction, okay, you have this connection here. Now I just raise this up in the middle just because it kind of looks kind of cool. And if I need to get over the, you know, if I got stuff coming out like this, for instance here, I have stuff coming in and it's going over this other rail, and then being able to distribute to those machines down there. Okay, so you have 2 lines coming in, okay, and then you have 1 line going back. So as you can see here on these arrows here, so this one here is going to be to the left, and then these 2 here are going to the right. And then at every machine junction, you're going to connect, and then connect to the machine. So that if you have material on this line or this line coming in, it then drops off to whichever machine you want. Then the output of the machines, they're all kind of linked together. Okay, so this is where all the outputs are coming in. They're coming in from one here and then one here. Okay, then what you're gonna do, now you could probably do this with just one rail in the middle, and it'd probably be all right. You could probably get away with it that way. But what you want to do is I want that output to be able to go back to your main rails, your main supply rails. So that's what this is doing here. So this rail here is coming this direction, and then it goes up and then out, and it connects to both these rails. Sometimes some of them are used, and sometimes they're not. So the machine arrows are going to the machine, and then you have this rail coming back that's going back to your feeding rails. And then of course this is your rail that's going back the other direction. So if this machine here makes a product that this machine needs, instead of feeding it directly, what's happening is it's being outputted, then it allows it to transfer back to the rails and then back to the machine. back to the machine's input. So it's kind of a little bit of a complex, like I say, complex system here, but it works very, very well. Now, there is one drawback with this type of setup, and that's whenever you start a new machine, the other machines and stuff are going to want to dump all of its product to that machine all at one time. So you could potentially have a clog because you got product going this direction, you got product going this direction, you got product going this direction, so you might get a little congestion. So it does happen from now time to time, but it's not really a big deal because usually you just clear it off just a little bit and then everything will start working again like it is right now. So what this does is this actually spreads out all of your resources and materials coming in so that you're not just clogged on just one line, that one line is trying to feed everything. Or you don't have, this machine's producing, these two machines here are producing the products at this machine here, but this machine here needs to produce products from that machine over there. You're kind of intertwining all of the get some water. Maybe we'll have a little bit of food. Oh, excuse me. So back to what we're doing. So this setup here, it works really, really well. So if you're going to build this, okay, let me come over here real quick, kind of out of the way. Here we go. Oops. Maybe had the wrong button there. Okay, so if you're going to build this type of setup, so you're going to have a machine. So let's just throw down a machine. I probably ought to get some more building materials here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I need to get. Okay, so let's just grab a machine, say like a fabricator. Okay, so normally what you'd have to do is, we're going to pick a complex system here, or a complex output. Okay, so there we go. We got one down. So, for instance, if you were going to build this, these tubes, okay, you would need a machine that produces titanium sheets and a machine that produces titanium rods. Okay, so if you drop down two more machines, okay, put one there, put one there. So you have, let's see, we need that one and the sheets. So you have titanium.
Great work. Future Health Solutions has received your shipment.
Oh, nice.
Claim your rewards in the terminal.
So, if you would then have to feed in, which I'm sure a lot of us have done this. Okay, so we feed in, you can have one side here, and then you have this coming in here. So then you'd have a mining that would feed, you'd have a smelter here. Let's see, let's throw this over there. But I'm not going to do that just a minute. You'd have a smelter. Okay. So you have some kind of setup like this. Okay, so you have a smelter, and then you'd have like maybe I've been using these like more like a splitter than anything else. But you'd have that coming out, right? So then you'd feed from the smelter, would go here, and then this goes there, and then this would go here. So you're feeding from the smelting okay, you are feeding this and then going in to these two machines here, okay, with the titanium bars. So you get the titanium ore, it turns it into titanium bars, and then that titanium bar is turned into titanium rod, and then this one here is also titanium bars into titanium sheets, and then eventually you finally get the output of your titanium tubes. Okay, so that's the basic concept of what you're trying to do. You know, but with the setup that I have on all these different rails, we're doing the same thing. Okay. So over here, we're doing that same thing. We have the ore being from there, and then it goes into the smelter, and then the smelter then comes here and produces the rods. Then those rods are then sent on this, we'll call it a bus. It's not really a bus, but it is. Kind of is, but kind of isn't. All right. So, and what this does is this allows your finished product to be put back on these lines so it can be just redistributed to what other machines that you want. So instead of having a system like this, and then only that one deal there coming out, you're doing the same thing, but you're in a more compact setup. So if you were going to build the actual line for it, okay, so you'd have 3 of these. So you got 1, 2, 3. Now I'm using 3. You don't have, you could probably use 2 and be all right. Okay. Let's see, build. He keep hitting the wrong button. Okay, so we're gonna, instead of having a machine like that. Okay, so you know this one here is producing the sheets, that's producing rods. So if we put another machine, we put the machine, this other fabricating machine over here. Now, the one thing you do have to have is you have to have space between them. Okay. So I'll go ahead and remove all this. All right. So you'd have your 3. You have your 3. Well, we'll just use 2. Give you an idea of what if you just use 2, it'd be just fine. Okay, so then you have a machine. You know, it can be the fabricator, furnace, mega press, doesn't matter. Smelter, doesn't matter. Whatever machine you need to produce whatever product you need to produce. So you're gonna make sure that you have a space between each of your machines. Okay. So we're going to do this. We'll do that. And yeah, rocks are in the way. Who cares? Okay, so then you have this coming out, right? So you're going to put one here too. Okay. I'll put. You put one here. And then your output. Okay, then back over here, you're going to have the same thing. You're going to have 1, 2 next to each other. 1, 2 next to each other.
I'm detecting increased Rupture activity.
Oh, well, thanks.
Prepare for a wave.
Well, we'll get back to that here in a minute. This is pretty cool, though. This happens just every so often. But you make sure you're inside your little habitat when this happens. Oh, it's just kind of burned to death. Oh well. Hey, I've got some new rewards. Yeah, I'll check it out later. Alright, come on. are waiting for this storm to come in. Combat bonds. You can research that. That's all it's good for. Alright, so here comes the way. This is what it...
Rupture's eruption has started. Star Rupture has started.
Now, if you're outside when this happens, yeah, you're dead. you're just dead. This looks really cool though.
Extreme temperature detected.
Yeah, your factory's going to shut down because everything's got, you know, just overheated.
Planetary temperature returning to normal.
Alright. Alright, how do we go back outside? It's a little dark here. Floating debris. Everything got nuked. Alright, so back to what I was talking about. Okay, so that's your setup you're gonna have. Okay, we gotta put a couple here too. Okay, so that's what you would do. And then on this side, you'd also have your machines too. So, like for instance, say you wanted a furnace. Now the outputs is very, very important because your outputs of your machines have to be into each other if you're going to use this type of setup. So, and then you'd have the same thing on this side. One, two. Okay, button again. Okay, so now what you're going to do is on your outside lines here, they're all going to be going in one direction. So we're going to say those go to the right. Okay, so you connect all those. And then on the inside, which those are all going to be going to the left. Okay. And then this here will get connected to the machine. This one here, this is the machine, and then you connect the machine here. Okay, so then from here, you connect over here, go to this machine, connect to here, to here, And then on the output of the machine, okay, it's going to come here. Then you'll connect it to that. And then from here, to allow the product to go back through, you're going to connect that back over here to your inside line. And then you're on this side here, you're going to have that connect back to your outside line. So allows your product to go back that direction. All finished products that are not needed, we're going to be able to go this direction, and say goes to your launchers. Okay. So then on this side here, you do the same thing. Okay, so coming out, and then what you want on this side here is you want this to go in the opposite direction. Okay. And then again, you'll have this one here go back out. And then on the, again, your inside one is always going to go to your left. If you're looking at your outside, it's always going to go to the left. And again, you'd have this line here going to, oops, that's not right. Okay. This here goes that direction. Oh, because it's not plugged up, we're not getting any power to it. So just for funsies. Build just a little ramp, because that'll actually connect on this, so we can actually see everything light up. Okay. All right. So your output goes to the center, and then you're going to have one going one direction, the other one going the opposite direction. So this one here will go this direction. And again, you need the output of that to go back to your bus. So that's going to head back over that direction. Okay, this is coming out, goes to the center, and then we want to go back to this over here. And then here it's going to go back this direction. So what this allows us to do is the product that is produced by this machine, and it needs to end up over in this machine. It'll actually travel. It'll come out here, go this direction, follow the line here, go back up, and then over here, and then allow you to get back into it. Okay, so this is how you'd want to set up. Okay, again, back over here, if your lines, okay, from the center, go to the machine. Next one goes the outer line, go to the machine. Goes back to the outside. Goes to the machine. And there you go. So again, what this allows you to do any product that is made like on this machine, but this machine over here needs it. You know, it'll be outputted towards the center. It'll travel this direction. Okay, it's only going to go whichever the way the arrows are. All right, and then it's going to travel in this direction here. Okay, then it says, hey, I need to send it that way, so then it goes back this direction and then into here. So it's a way of setting up all your machines to allow them to feed each other. Now, it does take a little bit. Oops. Okay, so again, you know, here's a part I missed. Okay, so it's going this direction. Make sure that continues onto the outside. Okay, so once you're basically, you know, you have one going to the right, left, right, is how you're, you know, you got one going direction, one going the other direction. I mean, back and forth like that. Same way with over here, you know, you have this is going to the left, that one's going to the right, left. So it allows all your products, okay, to be able to transfer. So like there I have some helium coming in. Now again, you could probably just use one line, you know, two lines, you know, a left and a right, or in and out, as you can say.
Rupture status stable. Arcadia status stable.
And do it that way. And so you can literally have one or two lines here. I'm just using three because it allows me to have
Arcadia 7 has finished regenerating.
But any questions, comments, just put it down, and appreciate everybody for watching. Hopefully this helps and give you some ideas on how to build your factories. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye for now.